Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, this is going to be a special video because a lot of times you guys will hear me go on and go off about fighters like Adrian Broner, who I think are bad for boxing. Right? You guys will always see me go off about Adrian Broner or Andre Ward or Canelo or just fighters in general that I really don't like or take a liking to, right? And you guys will always put in my comments, BT, you need to respect all fighters. Now we're gonna put some respect on a certain fighter's name who I know from a lot of the boxing channels on here. They're not gonna make this video, so I'm gonna make this video because it was reported recently that a long time super lightweight, junior welterweight journeyman, and some of you guys may know who this is if you've really been up in your boxing. Robin Deacon, the self-proclaimed world's worst boxer. All right, Robin Deacon has yesterday he retired from the sport of boxing. So for those of you who never heard of Robin Deacon was a journeyman in the UK. Fighting in the super lightweight division. This is a guy that pretty much his entire career, he was used as a journeyman, as a stay busy opponent for a lot of fighters. So the fighters that, he fought and obviously lost to, he fought likes of, guys like Patrick Hyland, Anthony Crawler, he fought Stephen Smith, and those are probably the biggest names on his resume. But this is a guy in Robin Deacon who this man lost 51 fights in a row. He lost 51 fights in a row. He lost every fight he had from February of 2007 to basically March of 2014. So basically a 7-year stretch of just losing in a lot of fights because he was just being used as sometimes a short notice opponent, sometimes a stay busy opponent. He was getting a lot of fights in a year. So, he was just your run-of-the-mill journeyman in England, but he wore that title of world's worst boxer quite proudly. I remember the first time I heard about this guy, Robin Deacon, was 4 years ago when I was living in Texas. I remember I was watching an interview from Michelle Joy Phelps, and she was interviewing this guy. And that's how I learned about him. I actually learned about him through Michelle Phelps' interview with him. So, big shouts out to Michelle Phelps behind the gloves, doing good work as always. But you gotta respect anybody who gets in that ring, especially the journeyman, because I believe that even the journeymen in the sport have it the hardest. And mind you, just because you wore the title of journeyman doesn't mean you're a garbage fighter. Manuel Augustus was a journeyman, but he was a very skilled journeyman. Robin Deacon, obviously, it didn't work out for him because he finished his career off with a record of 2 wins and 53 losses. He got knocked out 14 times. He never himself recorded a knockout. So in his 55 fights, he lost 53 of them. And that's what it was. But on this channel, on True School Sports, we're going to give Robin Deacon, we're going to give him respect. Because in boxing needs everybody. Boxing needs, to keep running, boxing needs fringe contenders. It needs contenders. It needs your champions. But more importantly than that, boxing even needs its journeyman. And for a very long time, Robin Deacon was a notable journeyman. Not for really his skills or because he won, but he wore that title of world's worst boxer. And every interview I've ever seen of him, he's always had a good attitude. I've always seen this guy with a relatively good attitude in his interviews. So I like that about him. He comes off as a very nice guy. So I respect this man for getting in the ring 55 times at the professional level, fighting, guys who were British Commonwealth world champions, a guy in Anthony Crawler who was a world champion. And just overall, I wish him the best retirement. I actually want to read you guys his statement. I've been talking for a while, but here's what his statement said. This is what he said in his farewell statement to boxing, Robin Deacon. He said, I quote, "I am announcing my retirement after not being successful and losing brain cells. I can't take no more. I've boxed the best in Britain and boxed world title challengers and a world champ in a 55-fight career that ain't been the best. I'm proud to say at least I did something people said I couldn't. I want to start my life out with my girlfriend, as boxing is so up and down and it's playing with my emotions, making arguments with my loved ones. Thanks to all the people that slated me and the ones that love me. Thanks to Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn, Stephen Goodwin, Carl Greaves, Dave Caldwell. The rest of the promoters can suck my plums because you don't have a clue. Time to call it a day. Thank you, everyone. End quote. So, fair play to him. This is a guy who obviously had a pretty long career in terms of the fights he had. He was I want to give him a lot of credit because in boxing recently, we've had a lot of tragic deaths. We've had like Mike Talley, I think his name, Nick Blackwell. A lot of people, particularly for some reason in the UK, have been getting killed in the ring, and fighters die every day. So the fact that this man was able to get, even despite the record, he lost a lot of fights, but despite the record, the fact that this man was able to get through a 55-fight career with guys who were world champions, British champions, and he probably wasn't nearly as good as them. Fair play to him. He's a survivor. He has survived the long and strenuous career of a professional boxer, and more so of a professional boxing journeyman. So I want to give my respect to him because we respect all fighters here on this channel. And big shouts out to Robin Deacon. You may have worn the title of world's worst boxer, but you sure aren't the world's. You for sure are definitely one of the world's toughest fighters. To get in the ring continuously with those fighters, you got to have a certain level of heart, a certain level of toughness. Now, maybe you didn't have the skills to beat a lot of these guys, but you had the heart to get in the ring, and for that, we respect it here on True School Sports. So, happy retirement to Robin Deacon. Hopefully, you can get things sorted out with your girlfriend, and just overall, man, God bless. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and like I say in every single video, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just giving Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.